be talking about literature that speaks not only through words, but also their arrangement on the page, the typography, the kind of paper, the kind of cover, and also the whole architecture of the volume, about books that can be inhabited like houses. And, well, you may remember that Henry James called novels houses of fiction in the preface to The Portrait of the Lady. So here is my first house into which I would like to welcome you. House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski, an American contemporary author who published it in 2000, inviting the readers to plunge into the interior of the house that is larger inside than it is outside. A haunted house, haunted by a mysterious creature, the house that suddenly changes into a kind of mad journey into the tunnels, yes, from which leaves fall, the house that may actually fall apart. Or about books that are like rooms in which a writer encloses himself for 365 days to write a novel about a young Jewish boy who survived the Holocaust and who traveled to America to start a new life. But how can one tell this kind of dramatic story? How can one tell a story about the chaos of encountering the new country, the new language, the new reality? Perhaps like this, trying to order the experience, or perhaps like this, showing how the experiences and words cross, or like this, to show the shape of the woman's body or the noodles that he feeds himself on for the whole year when he's writing this book. This novel, Double or Nothing by Raymond Federman, comes from the 60s, the period that is known as postmodernism. And indeed, there are a few postmodernist writers, both in the States and in the UK, that have produced amazing books that inhabit the spaces of the book in amazing and surprising ways, like this one. Oops! Another book that's falling apart, and rightly so, because it is about a man who is falling apart, dying from cancer, whose body slowly disintegrates, and about the disintegrating memories, random, chaotic memories of the narrator who's trying to come to terms with the trauma of the friend's death. So, The Unfortunate by B.S. Johnson, translated into Polish as Nieszczęśni, published in the series called Liberature or Liberature. Yes, because such books are books that speak with its volume, with its shape, with its body. Hence the name coming from Latin liber and fusing literature and the Latin name for the book. And as you have seen, literature can take unconventional shapes, can go beyond one volume and spreading, for example, into 3 volumes like this one. The book that actually gave birth to the whole concept and the whole idea. The book about birth and death, about maiming of the eye in order to see more, and to see that the book is not a transparent medium, dig out this one, but a very physical, bodily presence. Yes? So this Taiwanese poet, Xiaoyu, who published a bilingual Chinese-English volume, plays with this concept of the transparency of language and the transparency of the book as a material object, showing pink noise in an amazing experimental project in which she used Sherlock, a kind of automatic translation machine, to generate poetry out of spam and excerpts of poetry which she translated back and forth from Chinese into English and from English into Chinese to produce a mesmerizing surrealist piece of poetry. And speaking about other amazing spaces and architectural traces in literature, oh, what a chaos, what a chaos. I need to make some space here, speaking about the space of the book. So architecture is an important metaphor that gets its very physical realization in some of liberatic volumes, in some of liberatic projects. Here is a trilingual book, Polish, English and Esperanto, the Sienkiewicza Street in Kielce by a Polish writer and book artist, Radosław Nowakowski, one of the fathers of literature, who produced this stream of consciousness narrative about an Australian scientist traveling to Poland to a conference in Krakow and landing by chance, by accident, in Kielce, where he gets off by mistake and takes a walk along the eponymous street. And I think you can see how amazing this book is. And there is too little space here to unfold it fully. But if you would like to see the whole book, you're welcome to Liberature Reading Room, which is hosted in the Jagiellonian Library and can be visited, well, by appointment or just by chance if you happen to be in Krakow. And finally, I would like to show you some books with windows and balconies, like this reworking of Bruno Schulz's Street of Crocodiles that Jonathan Safran Foer treated and turned it into the Tree of Codes, with many windows and openings, and this haunting and haunted narrative about the world that has disappeared from our space. And speaking about architectural elements in the books, here is a poetry volume that has a balcony in it, a balcony that unfolds and that goes out of the space of the book. And I'm showing this collection of poetry because it was authored by the author of the term Liberature, the Polish poet and writer and theorist of literature, Zenon Fajfer. We have collaborated on the production of this triple volume book and collaborated on the development of this concept that encompasses these amazing literary works that I have shown to you. And just to conclude, I would like to recommend to you Happy by Nicola Barker, another candidate for the Liberature collection, a book that through its typography, graphic and musical elements, tells a story about the utopian perfect world in which you can be happy. So I would like to invite you to these bookish spaces to enjoy liberatic books. Thank you very much.